all I need you to do is to identify yourself for our record, and if you need some help holding the microphone, yeah, absolutely. Then why don't you go ahead and hold the microphone? Help. Yes, ma'am.
Jesse McWaters Westbrook. Your Honor, I stand here before you today requesting that you sentence the defendant, Sabrina Strickland, to the 5 years for involuntary manslaughter. I'm going to take you back for a second and explain to you how incredibly difficult it has been for me and my family since our father, brother, uncle was murdered on June 28th, 2019. On this night, June 28th, I received a call no child wants to receive. A call that my dad had been shot and was dead. Ever since this day, our lives have not been the same. I stand here today with so much on my mind and so many things I want to say.
You need to address it just to the judge.
At the same time, I know that no words could possibly encapsulate just how I and my family feel. How do you express your emotions on a situation that should have never happened? A situation that has been a living nightmare and has permanently changed our lives forever. A situation that has resulted in the death of someone. That someone being my father. One minute I had a daddy, and the next, I didn't. During this time, I have struggled with the physicality of what happens when death shows its ugly face. I struggle because my dad was physically here, but in the blink of an eye, he was not. All because of the intentional, ruthless acts of the defendant, Sabrina Strickland. After I got the call on June 28th, I thought to myself, this can't be. I called my dad's phone, and I called it some more. Was my dad really shot and murdered? How are we going to tell my older brother and baby sister? Thoughts someone should never have to think of. He never answered my phone calls that night, and he never will again for the remainder of my life. The reality of the situation set in as the days passed. It was true. Our father had been murdered. Since his death, I have thought about my dad every day. It has been 1,420 days without him. 1,420 days where I am reminding that he should be here with us, but he is not. Many of those days have been spent with a hint of fear looking over my shoulder, wondering if the defendant and her family were going to make an appearance and decide to commit more incredibly heinous acts to me or someone in my family. Acts that, again, they are trying or could get away with. My dad, Robert, deserved to experience all of the fun and precious milestones that most people get to experience with their children and family. In these last 4 years, he unfortunately has missed out on so much. My sister graduated high school and moved on to college. My brother got married to his loving wife. My cousin, Robert's niece, got married. His other niece had a beautiful baby girl. One nephew got married. The other also had a little girl. I've gotten married myself. I had a beautiful son, Bennett Haskell Westbrook. He is named after my dad, his papa. He was supposed to be here laughing and joking, being the most funny, silly papa there ever was. But now he never gets that opportunity. He will never see any of us achieve victories, and he will never meet any of his grandchildren. Your Honor, as if the past 4 years of waiting for justice for my father, Robert McWaters, wasn't enough, we now have a more painful but clearer picture into what really happened to him the months, days, and even hours before his death. This week's testimonies have unveiled an even bigger glimpse into the hell he was living in. The pathologist made it abundantly clear that my father had suffered multiple lacerations, abrasions, contusions, and even broken bones in the last 24 hours. Confirmed per defendant testimony, her family also partook in making his life hell. So not only was he murdered and permanently taken from his children and family, he was having to live in a world where he had gotten beaten up and had to live with injuries caused by the defendant's family too. It is a gut punch knowing that he was healthy and he should be here today. Healthy and should be alive. The feelings we have felt are truly unexplainable, and although nothing will bring our father back, the only just thing to do at this time is to give the defendant max 5 years for the involuntary manslaughter. When each of us lie our heads down tonight, we will exhale. Exhale because we know the evil, monstrous, manipulative person that intentionally killed our father, brother, uncle, friend will be getting some of what she deserves. My dad did not deserve what happened to him, but we are thankful. Excuse me, Matt. He is home in heaven. He's healed from alcoholism. He is no longer restrained by the defendant. Again, Your Honor, I ask that you give the defendant the 5 years offered, as that is only suitable option, being that she intentionally pulled that trigger and took our father away from us forever. Thank you.